You open the front door, and it's on you before you've made it past the mailbox. Wings snapping past your ear, that sharp clicking call, maybe a graze across the back of your head. You duck. You swear. You go back inside and tell yourself it was random. It wasn't. That mockingbird didn't pick you out of a crowd. It's been building a list, a short one, and something in your yard put your name on it. Not your neighbor's yard, yours. And once you know what's actually on that list, you'll never look at your own backyard the same way again. Welcome to Garden Bird Secrets. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe, because what you're about to hear will change the way you hear your own backyard. 5 things. 5 ordinary yard habits that turn a normal mockingbird into the one everyone in your house is scared of. Stick around for the 5th one, because once you understand what's actually driving it, you'll stop calling this bird aggressive. You'll start calling it something closer to the truth. Here's the fact that changes how you read every one of these 5 things. Researchers at the University of Florida found that mockingbirds can pick out one specific person from a stream of strangers after just 2 encounters near the nest, and remember that person's face days later, no matter what they're wearing. This bird isn't reacting on instinct alone. It's running a threat assessment, and your yard is what it's grading. The first thing is proximity, and it's simpler than you'd think. Cornell Lab of Ornithology puts a mockingbird's defended radius at roughly 15 feet around an active nest, closer than most people would ever guess a bird cares about. Inside that circle, fast movement, looking straight up, or lingering too long reads as a threat, especially during the 2-week window when eggs or newly hatched chicks are inside. Here's the twist. Mockingbirds nest low, often 3 to 10 feet up in a hedge you walk past every day. If your yard crew trimmed that hedge back in spring, the exact season the birds were choosing where to build, you may have been marked as a disruption before the first attack ever happened. In your yard, this means the fence line you've walked past for years might be the one place you shouldn't linger this season. Think about Carla, 3 streets over. Every morning, same time, same route. Coffee in hand, out to get the paper, past the same laurel hedge by her mailbox. Middle of April, nothing happens. By the 2nd week of May, the mockingbird starts calling the second she steps outside. By the 3rd week, it's diving. Carla hadn't touched that hedge. She hadn't even looked at it. But she'd walked within 6 feet of it at the same time every single day, for a month, long enough for one bird to learn her schedule better than she'd have guessed. That's not bad luck. That's data. The second thing isn't something you did once. It's something you did twice. Remember the University of Florida study from the Science Bridge? Doug Levy's team found it takes about 2 encounters near a nest for a mockingbird to lock onto one specific person. Not a hat, not a jacket color. The person. Levy's researchers had different volunteers approach the same nests on different days, and by day 2, the birds were already reacting sooner and more aggressively to whoever had shown up before, while all but ignoring someone brand new standing in that exact same spot. In your yard, this means the mockingbird isn't confused about who you are. If it escalated after your 2nd time near that hedge, it didn't escalate by accident. It made a decision, and it's sticking to it. The 3rd thing has 4 legs. The Audubon Society's guidance on backyard bird aggression points to one trigger above almost everything else: cats and dogs moving freely near an active nest. A mockingbird doesn't see your cat lounging in your own yard as harmless just because it's yours. It sees a predator with legs, and it treats every appearance the same way, whether the cat is hunting or just sunbathing on the patio. Here's where it gets personal. Because the bird already recognizes your face from thing 2, it starts associating you with the animal that keeps showing up beside you. Walk your dog past that hedge enough times, and you're not just a repeat visitor anymore. You're the repeat visitor who brings the predator. In your yard, this means keeping pets a little further from that shrub line isn't overcaution. It's the easiest fix on this whole list. Then there's the Whitfield place on the corner, or more specifically, the Whitfield's car. Every afternoon around 4, the same mockingbird would land on the side mirror, peck at it, flare its wings, and go after its own reflection like it owed him money. They tried covering the mirror with a grocery bag. He found the chrome door handle instead. This went on for 6 weeks straight, spring after spring. Every year they parked in that exact spot. The bird was never fighting the car. It was fighting the only rival it could see, and the car just happened to be standing in the way. The fourth thing is glass, chrome, or anything shiny enough to lie to a bird. Cornell Lab notes that mockingbirds stay territorial all year long, unlike cardinals or robins, who mostly save reflection attacks for breeding season. A mockingbird can go after a window, a side mirror, or a polished door handle in October just as readily as in May. Here's the mechanism. The bird sees another mockingbird in that reflection, and as far as its brain is concerned, that's a rival standing on its territory, refusing to leave no matter how many times it gets attacked. It's never going to lose that fight. It's also never going to win it. In your yard, this means a car parked in the same spot every day, or a ground floor window catching the morning light, can become a fixation that has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with a fight the bird can't win. If any of this is happening to you in June, there's a reason it feels sharper than it did back in April. Somewhere between 12 days before a chick leaves the nest and 12 days after, the parents are running on the highest alert of their entire year. The chicks can't fly well yet. They're on the ground more than they should be. And every set of footsteps nearby gets treated like a 5-alarm fire. It's not that the bird got meaner over the summer, it's that the stakes did. The fifth thing shows up after the chicks are long gone, in fall and winter, when a mockingbird switches over to berries and fruit as its main food source. Both the Audubon Society and Cornell Lab document the same pattern. Once a mockingbird claims one holly bush, one stretch of pyracantha, or even one bird feeder as its personal pantry, it will guard that single spot for months, chasing off every other bird that lands anywhere near it, even species with no interest in that food at all. In your yard, this means a lone reliable food source with nothing else nearby to compete for it can turn one bird into the self-appointed sheriff of your entire backyard. And that's really what all 5 of these things have in common. Every one of them is the same behavior, wearing a different disguise. That's not aggression. That's loyalty with feathers. So here's what's actually true about the bird that's been diving at your head all spring. It's not random. It's not personal in the way you think it is. It's a parent that has identified exactly what threatens its family and exactly who's responsible. And it hasn't gotten a single one of these 5 things wrong yet. If you've ever stood in your own yard and felt like that bird was keeping tabs on you specifically, you weren't wrong. It was. It still is. And once the nest empties out, once the berries run low, it'll go right back to being the bird singing on your fence post at 6 in the morning, like none of this ever happened. Which one of these 5 hit closest to home? Tell me what you saw. I read every one of these. I'll see you in the yard.